Hi there, I'm Natasha. This is my channel, Always Be Crafting. And today is Monday, or as I like to call it, Making Monday. You may notice I am not in my usual basement. In fact, I'm not even in my own home. I am in my mother-in-law's apartment. She's away this month and I am taking advantage of space. Big, wide open spaces. Look, all the things I am not hitting and touching. I love my basement. I love my space, but with my space comes distractions and I need to focus. I have a lot to focus on. I have a lot to do. So right now, what I'm working on specifically this month until she comes home, while I'm in her home, I'm working on 3 big projects in this location. Let me talk about what's in front of me first. Let's start there. The month of March, there is an Instagram challenge hosted by Ruan of Yorkshire Sew Girl and her partner, I want to say Sam of Frugalissima. Is that right? Anyways, I'm really excited about this challenge because apparently it's been going on for a while and it's a little new to me. I think I heard about it last year, but I was still very new to this part of the sewing community. So it wasn't something I had the time or ability to participate in. So in the month of March, they do a sewing challenge that is a frugal sewing challenge. In other words, cheap, no money or almost no money to be spent or having been spent. So the rules are in the month of March, you must start and complete a project. I'm not a professional vlogger for this, so I'm gonna just find the rules and I'm gonna link to the people who know the rules and I'll put the links down in my description box. So if you want to participate, I want to participate, you can do so as well and you can watch the official vloggers describe it, but that's the gist. Don't spend money, use a free pattern or make one yourself and use fabric from your stash. And the pictures that you're going to enter into Instagram with the hashtag, which I can't remember the hashtag, but I'm guessing it has to do with this year being 2025. So the number 25 is probably in it. I'll find the hashtag. I'll write that on the screen. And again, I'll link everything with the official people down below. But I do remember that you can't even enter your pictures until the end of March, March 31st. So you have all month. We have all month to figure this out. So do not worry if I don't have all the knowledge, okay? All right, so free patterns. Back in November or December, I had downloaded the Closet Core t-shirt free pattern with my subscription to their newsletter. And I had subscribed to their newsletter because I wanted the free belt bag, I think, pattern. And I love that pattern. I don't remember if it's called a belt bag or a hip bag, whatever it is. I'll link all of that in my description. I'm going to be so busy linking things because that's a great pattern. But then I was like, ooh, a t-shirt pattern. I've heard about their t-shirt. I'm going to get the t-shirt pattern while I'm here. And a couple weeks ago, I remembered I had the t-shirt pattern that I downloaded months ago. So I printed it out and I'd cut out the pattern. And then I was watching So Let's Sparkle with Sam this morning, today, Monday, March 3rd. And she mentioned the pattern today. And I was like, yes, I have that pattern. I just printed and cut it out just a week or 2 ago. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do that for my So Frugal, my entry, or at least one of my entries in case I do more than one. So I had this fabulous fabric that I purchased from So Hungry Hippie, of course. I mean, I do half my shopping there. Back in the summer. I think I bought it maybe in July, maybe in June, who knows. I bought it like months ago. That's the point of the story. And it's been sitting in my stash, like washed, like ready to be used for months. And I was like, it's perfect. I'm gonna do it. Wanna see the fabric? Can you see that? I'm gonna have to like do a zoom in because it is that gorgeous green with cheetahs. I'm obsessed. So I'm in the process now of cutting out. I've cut out the front and the back. I just cut that out. And now I'm gonna cut out the sleeves. They have a short sleeve or a long or a 3/4 length sleeve option in the pattern. And I was just debating, but I think I'm gonna cut out the short sleeve, and then I have to cut out like the neck binding and stuff like that. So that's what I'm gonna do next, but I needed to record. I wanted to make sure I recorded my video before I got too distracted. Okay, so I'm gonna do that. That's project number 1. Then I have some self-drafting to do. Project number 2, I said I'm working on 3 projects while I'm here at my mother-in-law's. Project number 2 is, pattern copying / self-drafting. So a couple weeks ago, I had shown off this leather bag that I had bought at Goodwill that I need to use the leather for another project, but I really love the pattern of the bag. So I'm going to copy it. So I have my seam ripper. I'm gonna start ripping this bag apart. And as I do, I'm going to trace out and copy its pattern pieces. And so that's gonna be a copy cat, essentially. I don't know if I'm gonna copy every aspect, but I am gonna copy the basic shape because I think it's a really cool bag and I wanna copy it. And then in addition to that, the sweatshirt I'm wearing, I know, basic gray, but it is easily my most favorite sweatshirt that I wear. I wear a lot of sweatshirts. I love it. It is so comfy, so cozy, and I would love to make another one. Buying clothes is a challenge for me because I'm plus size and there's not a lot of clothing stores that sell plus size. And I had been relying on the plus size department at Target. They had gone back on their hiring process, their workers in relation to DEI. And I disagree with that. I do not want to shop there while they are following those protocols. So I am no longer shopping at Target, which is fine because everything at Target can be purchased elsewhere. But for me, the one thing I really can't buy anywhere else is the plus size clothing. So that makes it a bit challenging. Now, I've been wanting to make more clothing myself for a long time, and Target's kind of been a convenient scapegoat. I've been able to get t-shirts there and sweatshirts there, and I've just sort of gotten away with not having to make things because it was so easy to get basics at Target inexpensively. And that has to change. So I'm making a t-shirt today and I'm gonna copy this sweatshirt pattern and I'm gonna make a sweatshirt. So I watched a class on Skillshare on pattern drafting from an existing pattern without having to cut up the garment to take measurements, like how to copy measurements from an existing piece of clothing without having to without having to destroy that piece of clothing in the process. Like I'm destroying this bag to copy the pattern. I don't want to destroy a favorite sweatshirt to copy the pattern. See what I mean? So but I'm calling this project number 2 because in both cases I'm pattern copying / creating my own pattern drafting. Okay, so project number 2. So I'm cutting out my t-shirt as project number 1, which is almost done because I've already done part of it already. And then project number 2 is pattern drafting. And then project number 3 It is, I will be working primarily in the month I'm here until my mother-in-law comes back on the quilt for my entry for the Festival of Quilts. That is a combination of what my mother had made before she passed away, her quilt blocks, how I am adapting her quilt blocks into something reimagined. So if you watch the video I posted a couple weeks ago, I'll have to link it up in the cards, that goes over the number of baggies I opened of finished quilt blocks. There were obviously blocks that went together that could be their own standalone quilts, and it would make sense to keep many of them together, and I will in some cases, but in other cases I do want to mix and match. So in the cases of some of them that were not enough to be an entire quilt on their own, or the small like 9 patches that are just such a small block to begin with, that I don't want to have an entire quilt of just something so small, I've decided to mix and match with bigger blocks. So one of the benefits of being at my mother-in-law's house is I don't have a design wall at home. That's on my wish list for 2025, is to be able to rearrange what is in my home so I can create a design wall to be able to put things on a wall at home for quilting purposes. So I have taken advantage of her guest bedroom, and I have laid out on top of the guest bed the quilt blocks, and I have started to put things together in a way that I think will make a very pleasing quilt. And I'm gonna have to fill in with like borders and just other things like that. So the best way to do that is to be able to kind of go back and forth. So I've brought my featherweight sewing machine to this location. I've done that specifically because the featherweight machine is the machine my mom purchased for me when I was like 16. So that's sentimental. I mean, I have other sewing machines that I have a relationship with because of her, but I would say of my machines, that machine specifically was like the big thing when I was 16, where she was like, oh my gosh, we got this great deal at a garage sale and it's so special, and it just feels like the right machine to do the patchwork on this quilt. And yeah, but they're steel machines. They're wonderful machines. So I will be, after I get everything cut and use this beautiful dining room table to cut out my t-shirt and draft my sweatshirt, then this dining room table will become patchwork central, I think. So I'm gonna have to watch this back and make sure I made sense in my blah, 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 mile a minute talking. But that is what Making Monday is today. So yes, it's a lot of sewing related items. Next week, I might not have something sewing related on Monday, but right now I have a lot of sewing related stuff happening. So sorry if you're not here for sewing content and you were hoping for something different. Today, I really have a lot of sewing related stuff going on. So I hope you don't mind. Thank you for being here. And I think that might be it. I will try to film, I guess, down so you can see. I'd already cut out the front and the back without turning on the camera because I wasn't really thinking about it. But I will go ahead and let you watch me cut out the sleeves and then maybe seam pick this. You won't watch me copy the measurements of my sweatshirt because I have to take my sweatshirt off. And I don't want you to see me in my undershirt. There's some things the internet shouldn't see. You know, I have to have boundaries, right? There have to be boundaries. So, but I think that's enough. All right, thank you for being here. I will be making a separate video just about the quilt. So I'm telling you about it now so you know what I'm doing here, and look forward that hopefully in a month, you know, by the time my mother-in-law comes back and needs her apartment back from me, I will have a video in April, some mid-April, hopefully, and I'll have a finished quilt top and hopefully be talking about what's going on, what the next steps are with that, and whether I'll be quilting it or sending it to a long armor, or what my decisions will be then. All right? Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for watching. If you have any ideas, feedback, comments, I'm all open ears. Thank you for being here again. Bye.